part and all of that.
The issue is, though, is that I don't believe you because every source you have given, every single person involved in every screenshot you have sent has come out and said that's not the case. And you haven't provided a single bit of proof where that is the case.
Okay, the proof that you can that you can look at that we've already talked about is three things. One, the Twitter thread that you just have already looked through, right? That is evidence that the way listen.
The opposite. Okay.
What? Just listen. Just hear me out. That Twitter thread, right, is an instance of around the time frame where I have firsthand accounts of this having happened, of a similar thing happening on different platforms of Tommy. It was about a VOD manager on one of his platforms being, improperly outsourcing stuff and not paying them properly. That is already confirmed, and Tommy resolved that behind the scenes. That's around the same time. That's one knock on this.
The evidence
Second thing
of him resolving that and having that be resolved proves the exact opposite thing that you're saying.
How?
Surely.
How?
Because he's been in this situation and has entirely resolved it. And the initial people that put out that stuff have said this is all resolved. And then you've gone, no, actually, it's still happening.
No, this is. I'm talking about first of all, I'm talking about a different instance. Second of all, all I'm saying is that is supporting evidence that it's not crazy that this could have happened, right? And then.
Could have. But there's no proof.
No, I'm saying from your perspective. From my perspective, I have firsthand accounts from editors that have literally expressly stated exactly what I said in my video. Literally expressly stated. I got those screenshots from editors that are in that Discord, right? So I'm not in that Discord. How did I get that evidence? Obviously from people that were telling me what was said, right? So I'm saying outside of that and without compromising people or making people, hurting people's future job opportunities, that doesn't seem unlikely that if they were discussing doing this, said, yeah, that'd be so cool. And that there's other instances of this happening publicly on Twitter already that got resolved in the past, that there are instances of this having happened that did not get resolved in the past. It doesn't seem unlikely, right? From your perspective. So all I'm saying is that it's still a trust me, bro, from my side of going, yeah, this is supporting evidence, not 100% evidence.
It's a trust me, bro, after a trust me, bro, his merch was made using child labor.
Oh, I don't agree with you on that. The statement you just made, but I don't think that's a trust me, bro at all. It's just like, that's just a fact that has happened.
Then prove it, man. Like, come on. This is the exact same expectations you ask of me for everything I say.
I feel like we've gone back and forth on that where I'm going, yeah, I did prove it. Here's the proof, and or whatever, and then we're back to the same thing. Like I feel like on this topic, this is the best thing I can say from on this specific issue. I think that I misstepped in the way that I worded things because it makes it seem more dramatic than I intended. Obviously the point that I was attempting to make was that, hey, Tommy, yes, you can make this, the content that you make as quickly as you can make it because of the fact that you make some compromises with how much control you have over it by outsourcing things to having having channel managers, editor managers, et cetera, to where things get lost and things can happen that are not so good. Like what happened that he resolved and like what has happened that I have heard about. So that was my point. And that's obviously about editors, getting some pay issues and stuff getting lost in, lost in the sauce. And I think that all in my mind is a valid critique. And again, it's a critique of his critique.
With the amount of missteps you said that have happened in this video, do you agree that it's fair for me to say that it's dishonest?
No, completely not at all.
So what about there being missteps makes this not a misrepresentation of the truth?
Well, the thing is, no video is going to be perfect. Nothing that you put out online is going to be perfect. When I'm having a conversation with somebody from the other, like the other side of the opinion, right? And we're having this discussion and I'm going, oh, you know what? Because of my personal biases, I didn't think about that specific thing beforehand. I wish I had moved that word around a couple of times. That doesn't make it dishonest. That doesn't invalidate everything that I've said in the video or even close to that. All it means is that, hey, yeah, if I'm trying to be the most fair I possibly can be, the most reasonable I can be, yeah, I'd change. I wish I had said this slightly differently. I wish I had said this word differently. I wish I didn't include this. I can do that about almost any video of mine, even like, I don't know, even a manhunt or something. Like you can go through it and be like, oh yeah, I wish I had done this differently. Doesn't mean the video, it sucks or something. I think that some of the things that you have said are fair, critiques or fair requests. But I don't think that any of it is dishonest.
I don't know how you can go out there and repeatedly say how against rumors you are, and then say stuff without evidence that naturally sparks off rumors, and then just be like, that's okay.
Like what?
What do you mean? Like all of the things I've just said, you haven't provided proof for over like this entire conversation, and I've gone over and over again, where's the evidence of that, where's the evidence of that? And there's always a different reason for why you haven't shown this evidence. And I just, like, you as a person are so against rumors.
Yeah, I hate rumors. I think rumors are terrible.
Exactly. And to then have so many different
so Tubbo,
reasons for not showing evidence.
Okay, Tubbo. So
he's gonna start rumors.
Well, I don't. I feel like this is I feel like I don't think that's fair, Tubbo. Here's the difference. This is a big difference, right? If I said, "Hey, Tubbo, you're sexist," that I provide no context, no evidence, bad, in my opinion. If I said, "Hey, Tubbo, you're sexist because you called one of my friends blank," right? That, even though that is a claim that you're making with, in that case, like as an example with like Ludwig or something where that's happening to me, I'm much more willing to have a discussion with that because that's a specific example. I'm saying, hey, this happened. I heard a firsthand account from editors of this having happened. And what's the evidence that I have a firsthand account of this happening? Well, the screenshots are the evidence because I have access to those screenshots. So in my mind, I'm going, yeah, that's far more evidence than no evidence at all. From my personal experience with people that I'm interacting with, I trust their firsthand account. And the evidence that I have firsthand accounts is the fact that the screenshots exist. So I'm going, that in itself is evidence, right? Like it's not providing no evidence. If I just said Tommy Innit doesn't pay his editors at all, that's making a claim without any evidence.
Yeah, no, okay. Right. Yes.
I mean, I'm not. If you disagree, I want to hear why. What?
In a sense,
what's the standard of proof?
Everything you're saying is very, very reasonable. I don't understand how, when you don't like rumors, it's about people's opinions of you. When I'm talking about rumors starting, I'm talking about serious accusations you have made. Do you understand what I mean? Like, well,
but the difference is they're not rumors.
You don't like the rumors. You don't like the rumors that people behind the scenes might think you're sexist. You don't like the rumors that people behind the scenes don't like how your merch looks. And yeah, like, come on, you wouldn't have brought it up in the video if you didn't care about people's opinions.
Well, I thought it was a funny critique. He's like saying baby photos, whatever. I'm like, well, I mean, come on, Tommy, you're really saying that when you worked with a merch company that scammed people. Like, come on, like that's ridiculous. I don't care about him calling my merch designs. He said lazily designed. Like, I don't care about him calling that. I just think it's ironic that he's saying that whenever he has his merch company to deal with. Like, that's, in my mind, that's the humor in it. I'm like, well, yeah, it's like a, like it's ironic. It's not.
Yeah, but like all of these things, okay, all of those things are rumors about you. I would admit, like, the average person can be like, it's just a rumor, it has no weight. But the kind of rumors that you are risking starting by not posting proof of, now you don't agree with me, which I don't understand why. You're not posting proof of Tom's merch being made by child labor. I feel like I'm going in circles, but I feel like that is a very serious rumor that does take serious tolls on people's career.
I feel like we discussed that in circles.
If anyone understands that, though, how serious accusations can have a big impact on people's career, it's you, my friend. So I don't understand how you're not understanding what I'm saying now.
I feel like we read in circles around that. I feel like I will be repeating myself 100th time if I even discuss it anymore. That company, the company that Tommy Innit worked with for his merch, not his own company, that company has, from your own admission in this stream, used child labor to make merchandise. Now, outside of that, that was not your own personal experience was not contributing to my personal experience and my evidence. Why I felt
to prove a connection between that claim and Tom, which you have failed to do.
Tommy and it made his merch with this company.
But that is not proof. This is not the same. I don't understand, man. Like,
I think
child labor and Tom, where is the link?
Okay, here's the link. The merch company that Tommy worked with used child labor. Do you agree?
Okay.
Do you agree? Do you agree? Yes, you agree. Like, it's this is ridiculous.
Of these unethical practices happened with his merch. You say yourself, you know the merch industry. You know how many different manufacturing plants and factories one company can use, okay? And it is going off your experience. It is so dishonest to, which I have confirmed is one instance in one plant, okay? It is so dishonest to insinuate that that is entirely tied to Tom.
Okay. Entirely tied to Tom. I know it's entirely tied to Tom. It's the whole entire merch company. Like it's the entire merch company. And I think that it's such a weird, it's such an interesting like hill to die on. Like, yes, no, this merch company that did child labor, they only did it according to my calculations, confirmed one time. Like, and that's obviously from your own personal experience. Obviously, I'm telling you, you don't have to trust me, but I'm telling you that from my own personal experience, from interactions that I've had, from conversations that I've had, that as far as I know, it wasn't just one instance. But that's my own. Yeah, but you're saying, but why when you know this has happened, do I have to prove that claim? That's like, I think we disagree on the standard of proof you need for claims that you make. Like, my critique in my video, which is all 100% proven even by your own exact statements, is, hey, Tommy in it, you worked with this merch, you're saying my merch is bad, you work with a merch company that did child labor, scam people, scammed their fans.
Understand is why would you not want a legitimate crime to have as much evidence as possible? That's what I don't understand.
I'm really confused, Tubbo. I'm just gonna be completely honest. I'm really confused. I feel like we've talked about this. I feel like I've answered. We've said back and forth on this.
The difference is the public doesn't know. People don't know.
People don't know what?
Sorry, 1 second. I'm getting a text from my mum. I'm checking I'm not gonna be sued.
Yeah, be careful.
I mean, you laugh. It's
no, be careful. Be careful.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about something else.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, no, yeah. Do you want to move past the editing stuff? I'm on the firm belief that you should cut that out of the video. You disagree. Okay. You agree that it's a misstep, though. Okay, we'll move on with that. Next, we're gonna talk about your message with Tom's mum. That's the next thing you brought up.
Okay.
In the video, you say this is the only message you sent to Tom's mum, but in the stream 2 days ago, you mentioned that you messaged an additional second time. Why change the story within the 2 days?
Yeah, so I saw you say that on your stream, and I was like, oh my god, because this is my perspective, right? So I messaged Tom's mom one time, right? One time, and then years later, after this was something that Tommy was already upset with, blah blah, she tweeted about that interaction, and we had an extremely like cordial, I messaged her, hey, I'm sorry for messaging you back then. You know, I didn't know that that would upset you guys. Didn't mean to, et cetera, sorry. And she replied and said, you know, whatever. It was just like a very nice common exchange. So when I say in the video, I had one, you know, this is the harassment. Obviously, he's not referring to me apologizing to her for having messaged her because Tommy was upset. Later on, you know, years later, he's referring to this one message. So like, I'm saying, yes, this is the only interaction I've ever had with his mom that he's saying this interaction is harassment. So I wasn't like, I don't know if that makes sense, but.
Do you understand do you get how, even with the context with his mum responding to your audience on Twitter, do you understand how this message still comes across as very weird?
I can, the thing is right after, like, shortly after this message, right, Tommy expressed to me that this made him uncomfortable, right? I apologized to Tommy. I said that I was sorry. I said that I did not think about it from that perspective, right? The perspective that I thought about it from was that I was treating his mom like she was, you know, outside of Tommy in it, an individual person on her own on Twitter, a creator, that you can copy paste that exact message if it was, I don't know, anybody else, any other creator on, Twitter that was interacting with, fans of mine about.
It's not anyone else.
I know. Yeah, 100%. I understand that. That's not something I genuinely, I apologize to his mom. I apologize to him. I realized afterwards, after Tommy said something where I'm like, oh wait, yeah, I guess realistically I wouldn't like if someone messaged my mom. That's not, I wouldn't want to do that. And I apologized. I said, I'm sorry to Tommy. I'm sorry to his mom. And that was but I didn't, the message.
Why didn't you include that in the video?
Because Tommy is saying that I harassed his mom. So it's all about framing. Like I had this conversation with Tubbo. With Tommy. So I do it to both of you. I had this conversation with Tommy where we had already had that conversation. So when he's coming out and saying that I'm harassing his mom, the first thing I'm not going to do is accept his framing and say, yeah, you know what? I'm sorry, Tommy, I harassed your mom. Like, no, I'm going to say I didn't harass your mom. I sent this one singular message. I had already apologized to Tommy and his mom for that. Why didn't he include the fact that I apologized to his mom in his video? He didn't include that. Why not?
Because I feel like you're the one that does the overstepping. He doesn't need to swing for you. You know what I mean? If you've done the overstepping and in the wrong, the person that you wrong doesn't typically, defend you. I feel like that's fair.
Well, I think it's the same way the other way around. Like in this instance,
you messaged his mom. He didn't message yours.
He said that I was wait, what?
You just agreed that you wouldn't like it if the roles were reversed.
Yeah, no, in hindsight, I recognize. I was like, yeah, that was a misstep. That's not something that I should have done. I recognize, like, I understand. Yeah, it was a misstep. It was. That's the thing but that's the thing, Tubbo, is like there people that in my mind, like if you read that message and you understand, like this is the full context. Tommy's mom is replying to Dream Stands on Twitter, arguing about a video that was about a section of that video was about me, right? And was discussing my stutter with fans, right? Expressing her opinion. If that was as an example, it's, again, you're gonna say it's different because it's someone's mom, but if that was anyone else and they were expressing that opinion, literally all it was, hey, I don't agree with my fans that was ableist. I don't think that Tommy was being ableist. I don't think that Tommy was trying to cause harassment, but because you're expressing your opinion on the video, here's my opinion on the video. That's just my thoughts.
The difference is that Tommy's mom isn't really a public creator. Whereas you wouldn't, if anyone else was defending Tom's video, you wouldn't respond to random Tom fans responding to your.
No, if it was a creator, then I totally would. But yeah, you're right. If it was just, I was treating 100%. And that's where the mistake in my mind was I was treating and viewing Tommy's mom as like her own. I was not in connection to Tommy. I was viewing her as her own individual, just with her own platform, with her own followers, and replying to people. It's like that was my view, and that's where I made the mistake. Like that's what caused me to make the misstep. Was me having that frame of mind made me think, oh, okay, I'm just going to express my opinion. Surely she'd want to hear it because she's talking about this video as well, and she'd want to hear my thoughts because it's about me. That was my personal thoughts. And then after, obviously, when Tommy was upset about it, and obviously, like you said, Tommy and I had already, we were not friendly at this point. So after Tommy expressed that was weird, or that was crossing his boundaries, I apologized and said, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't think about it like that. I completely understand. I shouldn't have done that. I accept that. That's not something I should have done. I don't remember the exact message I sent, but sorry.
Why didn't you include that in your video?
Again, I think it's all about the framing. It's all about the framing. He said I harassed her. Do you think that okay, one, do you think that I harassed her?
Not firsthand, I don't.
Okay. And do you think that I intended to harass her or I don't know, attack her or something?
I think it's a very weird thing to do, and I think it's very weird that you didn't see that this is a massive overstep of anyone's boundaries, and it's not a unique thing to Tom. I think, obviously, I don't think one message is harassment. That's silly. But what I do think is, since your videos come out, I don't know if you've seen any of Tom's mum's tweets.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible. That's terrible.
I thought you would.
I think that's terrible.
And I know you wouldn't condone that behavior, but
fuck all of you people that would do anything like that. I don't want you in my audience. I don't want you as a subscriber. I don't want you as a follower. I don't want anything from you. Fuck off. Delete all of your social media and go get fucking therapy. You suck. You're terrible. Fuck off.
I've heard that one before. Yeah, no, sorry, you didn't laugh. Oh, okay. I'll stew in my own silence. Okay, I'll go fuck myself. Yeah, yeah, I think it is. I feel like also you talk about framing a lot. I think
Yeah.
the framing, while we're talking about framing in your video of saying this is the only message I sent her, makes Tom's claim seem more unreasonable when in fact there was more than one that you just didn't mention.
Well, I mean,
Is that fair?
I don't think that's fair just because when he says harassment, well, Tubbo, listen, when he says harassment, he's clearly not talking about the message a year and a half later when I apologized to her and we have a very nice exchange with each other. He's clearly talking about that one message. Like, obviously he's not talking about the other message where we
but even
had
if
it.
you have a nice exchange, it doesn't necessarily mean she wants to speak to you. Do you know what I mean?
I think that that's fair, but literally my only message was saying I'm sorry. That's it. So I think that if I include, like, I think that for framing purposes, if I had included that in my video, it would not have changed. It would have, I mean, I guess in my perspective, like, it would have only done, like you're saying, it only would have done better for me if I was saying, oh, I sent her this one message, and then the only other message I've ever sent her is literally an apology for doing this. And Tommy failed to mention that. It would have had the exact same, like, you know, like I didn't choose to say one to, like, as like a lie or something. I said this one message because that's what the harassment was supposed to be, was this one message that Tommy obviously was upset with enough to say that I was a movie villain or whatever. And so that was, from my perspective, that was why it was, like, frustrating. And obviously you saying, yeah, clearly one message doesn't constitute harassment was like, yeah. And so it's obviously very frustrating. Like, if Tommy, I think a lot of it is framing. Like, I don't think Tommy was doing it in a malicious way. I think that he was upset. I genuinely think that Tommy was upset, and I think he has a lot of valid reasons to be upset. And I think that when he was discussing that specifically, obviously he was probably emotional. He brought up, you know, his parents' divorce, which is terrible, and I'm so sorry that that's something that, you know, he was going through and that his parents were going through. But I didn't know about that, and I think that the way that he framed it was unfair to me. I think if he had said, you messaged my mom, that was crossing a boundary, you know, even though you apologize, I don't accept your apology, you know, whatever, that's much more, like, fair. And then my response to that is very different, right? And the same thing happens with a lot of the stuff he says. If he says it in a slightly different way where he's not, like, exaggerating to, like, it did, the video made me seem like this terrible villain that's, like, I don't know, doing all these terrible things. And then when you break it down, I'll go, well, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, this was a misunderstanding, this shouldn't have happened, or yeah, I made a mistake there. But it's like normal human mistakes and normal human interactions and you know, growth and whatever, that's made out to be this, like, horrible comic book villain behavior. And I think that's, like, I think that's the problem with it all. And I think it's not Tommy's problem. It's like the internet's problem. Like, the internet dramatizes everything, and it like sucks. Like, it sucks that,
Dude, I'm gonna say I think this one example is a bad example of the internet dramatizing everyone, because, like, let's be clear, you did text his mum while you guys had fallen out. That is weird, and you've acknowledged it's weird, and you wouldn't like it if it happened to you.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, but I did not harass his mom while she was going through a divorce, and I'm not a proper movie villain. Like, those are Tommy's words, right? Like, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm disagreeing with Tommy. The way that he said it in that video is, in my personal opinion, dishonest. And I don't think that he was being intentionally dishonest. I think that he was just emotional. But in my opinion, it's dishonest.
Not dishonest, but all the missteps you've described aren't dishonest.
Because you're saying, that's actually a good point, Tubbo. It's actually a really good point. I think that, yeah, I think that, I guess if I think that his intentions were not to be dishonest, which I don't think his intentions were to be dishonest. I think that his intentions were that he was emotional, and that it was, you know, obviously that was an emotional time for him, and it was there's a lot obviously that he's letting out. If I think that, and I think this, and I apply that same line of thinking to my thought process, which is why obviously I'm giving myself that benefit out. And I guess I don't think it's dishonest. I think that it's a misstep. I'll say that. I think that you've changed my opinion.
Would you, given that misstep, would you like him to remove that from his video?
I mean, I think that what's done is done. I think that if he'd like to, you know, comment or something, or say, you know, the same thing that I'm doing for mine, I think that's fair. I think that if Tommy has specific problems with my video, if he'd like to, through you or if he doesn't want to contact me himself through you, he would like to let me know about that and what he would like me to do, then that's fair. I'd have a conversation with Tommy. And I think that there are many things in his video that obviously I have a similar problem with, like with the harassment stuff. But the problem is that I feel like what's done is done. Everything's out there. I think that,
Hey,
go ahead.
sorry to interrupt. If your attitude is what's done is done, why at the end of your video did you then ask Tom to delete every video that you're in? If what's done is done.
Well, I think that's what's done is done. And I think that in my mind, I personally feel very upset about the videos with my sister, the videos with my mom, and not the other videos. Like, I care a lot less about those videos. I care about because there's no content. My mom has never appeared in anybody's content. My sister has never appeared in anybody's content. Only one video with Sapnap or something, and and then a bunch of videos with Tommy. And he's sitting here saying I'm harassing his mom and I'm this horrible movie villain while having intimate videos up. And I don't mean intimate in a weird way. I mean intimate in like a, personal, close connection way, where I had that close connection with my sister while my sister is sitting here texting me saying, why is Tommy lying about you? So on and so forth. I don't like that. That makes me feel uncomfortable and makes me upset that someone would say that while having that content up. So to me, I say what's done is done. But I say that if you genuinely feel that way, I just really think that Tommy is upset. Tommy has valid reasons to be upset, but also has a lot of the stuff that he said in his video, I believe, are out of emotion and that he doesn't completely mean them. And I think that if he actually truly means the things that he's saying, then yes, he should 100%, out of morals, but also out of the fact that I feel this way, remove those videos at absolute bare minimum. But in my opinion, obviously me saying, yeah, why would it's me for the rest of the videos, it's me making a point. It's me saying, you think I'm this terrible person, but you're willing to make money and views and subscribers off of videos where people are going to watch that and think we're like buddy, and that might influence them to subscribe or to.
Those videos are like 3 years old now, no?
Yeah, I mean, there's still obviously videos on his channel that will garner new views and have new subscribers that will watch them, and think like, oh, hey, Dream likes Tommy and Dream's supporting Tommy, and this is, Dream. Every video that I post will boost those videos, right? And my fans will see them, and my fans will not know the history between this and not know that he's saying these slanderous things about me, and that I don't like. That's the problem, is like, I don't want that. So I'm fine. That's the difference. Is genuinely, if Tommy wants to have a one-on-one conversation, I have always been open. I've tweeted about it all the time. For any creator, I will be open. I would always be down. I would love to have a conversation. I would love to. And the same thing if he has issues with things I said in my video or whatever. We didn't even have a single phone call about the whole mom issue. We didn't have a single phone call about the USMP stuff. We never.
That's fair, though.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's not fair, but I'm saying obviously.
Text my mom, you know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's unfair. I'm saying that obviously. I don't think communication almost ever, I guess from my perspective, I'm the type of person, communication, I feel like is never bad. It's almost never bad. Like if you can communicate with someone, then you should generally, especially when
communication is also a privilege. You know what I mean? And when you do things that damage your reputation of trust with people, you lose that privilege to the communication you're asking for.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think that's valid. I think that from my perspective, that I genuinely don't think that Tommy was unfair in his response to that. Like, I don't think that his reaction to that was unfair. I never critiqued him for that. I mean, obviously ever since then, obviously I haven't said anything to him privately, like in a negative manner. I congratulated him when he hit 15 million subscribers. I don't have a problem with the way that I don't have a problem that he was upset that I messaged his mom. That's not, I apologize for that. I messaged him privately. I'm not saying that. I'm saying obviously before these interactions, and obviously the way that he's the things that have been brewing amongst that group of the Brighton crew for a while. It's like I obviously had a phone call with Jack recently, and obviously he didn't. He
all Jack told me of that phone call is you guys were just like, yeah, we don't like each other. Let's move on. You know what I mean?
It was honestly, it was a good conversation, even though, yeah, he didn't agree with me on some of what I was saying or a lot of what I was saying, but we had, it was a very mature and like good conversation. We talked for, I don't know how long, I think it was like an hour or something. And we had, it was a good conversation. I feel like that's valuable just because, I left that conversation feeling more positive towards Jack than I did going into it, right? And I left that conversation.
How could that be true if on your stream, peace over it, on your stream 2 days ago, you say Jack Manifold, there's a rumor you're unfaithful.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
come on, man. Oh, come on.
I left that call. Okay, Tommy, what the difference is before I had left that call, I wouldn't have said there's a rumor you're unfaithful, right? I would have said, hey, I have firsthand account that you're unfaithful, right? But after that phone call, I went, oh, you know what? Based on what Jack expressed, where it literally was just him saying, hey, that's not true. He didn't. I mean, obviously, he didn't provide me any receipts or anything, but it was like, oh, okay, all right. Well, I guess I'll think not of that, but.
Oh, Jack's in my chat right now. What did he say? He said, we discussed rumors about you too, Big Man. Oh, he's joshing. He's joshing. He's not being. I thought he had a serious message because it was longer than the normal Manifold message I get. It was not. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I mean, I think that communication is important, I guess, and I think that I'm open to communicate with anybody. And I guess I'll just say kind of again that I'm always open to have conversations. I feel like I'm an open book, and I enjoy. I communicate very weirdly, especially from messages. Like I'm not a good communicator. And I feel like I want to try, and I always try and have phone calls with people when I can, and reach out and tell people, hey, I'm open to phone calls, make my DMs open, so on and so forth. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess I feel like that was the.
That's fair. I feel like also, speaking of what I just said, on your stream 2 days ago, what are the rumors about me? Can I ask? Because you did say there's serious rumors about me.
Okay, so first of all, I also said I said there's rumors about Skeppy and other people, and that I'm just like saying that as like, oh look, there's rumors about you, but
yeah, but you also said I'm a bad guy behind the scenes.
No, that was me making a point. That was the same thing as like me saying the whole racist thing for Tommy. It's like, oh, he's racist, whatever. But there was also what originally was like. Never mind, it's not important.
Will you text it to me?
It's not important. It's really not important, Tubbo. It's really not important.
So, why are you doing
this? I just said that. That's it.
Okay, about what? Because that's very broad what you've just sent me. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. It really is not important.
Yeah, it's not important. I promise you.
Yeah. Dude. What do we even do now?
I don't know. I genuinely I have a lot of respect for you, Tubbo, and thank you a lot for just having me on. I know we don't agree on a lot of stuff, and we still don't. And I feel like, obviously, regardless, I just feel like this call was, even if the only thing to gain from it is that you can discuss with someone, even if you disagree with them on a lot of things, or even if you don't, you're not buddy.
Can I talk about something I said on stream 2 days ago? Because I know your audience was quite upset at me for saying it, and I feel like I should say
go ahead.
You're also here to talk about it. On stream the other day, I said, you've made a lot of money off Pride merch while keeping your sexuality ambiguous. What I meant by that is that I believe that for you 2 days ago to go on your stream and say, I'm not gay, while having this very on-screen fictitious gay relationship with George, and then releasing Pride merch and using the shopping domain dnf.gay, I think is weird, and I wanted to ask you about it.
So what I think a lot, this is the same thing that I've said literally since the beginning of time, or since every time I've ever been asked about it, that I'm not gay. I've been in relationships with women. I'm not gay, right? Outside of that, I have refused to talk further about my sexuality. I feel like there's more nuance than just, hey, you're not gay, therefore clearly you're straight. Like, I feel like that's
that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that if you so openly say you're not gay and you've always said that, why use this fictitious relationship with your best friend to link to your merch.
I mean, I'm not. I don't even know. I don't know.
Merch.
I literally don't even know dnf.gay. Like, I don't. That's not my domain. I don't know. George's
It's
merch.
not.
George's thing.
Yeah, but like you also do release like Pride merch.
Yeah, I've done Pride merch
Given
with
10%
profits going
went
to
charity,
what?
10% went to charity. You would have still made a lot of personal money off of that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously we've given donated a lot. I think we donated a lot more than 10% actually, because we did I don't remember what I think we did a set amount or something for one of the drops, and we didn't, and like with 10% up to that amount or something, we didn't get up to that amount, so we ended up doing a lot more than 10%. But I don't remember the specifics of every single drop, but I've always tried to, I've done live streams and done stuff promoting a lot of different.
Trevor Project.
I'm sorry.
The Trevor Project was the charity.
Yeah, and also worked with them behind the scenes and stuff on many different things. So I always want to show support. So I'm not.
Yeah. So like
I'm not using my own like.
You're not gay, but you are part of the queer community.
I'm not sure what the definition. Like, I'm not sure what the definition of that is. I think. I mean, I assume I am queer.
Like
queer is.
What do you mean? Sorry, do you need me to?
I think that there is a spectrum, and I think that when I say I'm not gay, I literally mean I'm not only attracted to males. I have been in relationships.
Yeah, but that spectrum you're mentioning is like the spectrum of how queer an individual is. That's what
Okay.
I'm about.
Okay, then yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. That's fine then. Then I don't really have any gripe with the Pride merch stuff. Like, I have my own personal thoughts, but it doesn't need to be said because it's not like.
Okay, well, George, as far as I know, isn't queer, so go cancel him, please, for having doing his merch.
Hey,
That's a joke.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's basically. I mean, I don't really have anything to say. You've said your bit. I'm not going to dig into your private life, man. Like, let's be so real. Like,
yeah.
Like, that was the most digging I probably felt comfortable doing. I wasn't going to go any deeper.
Yeah, I got a little uncomfortable there, but I think it's very valid and very fair. That's fine. I understand.
Given you released Pride merch and made money off it, I assumed you would be comfortable talking about it on stream, and I'm sorry if that wasn't the case.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, I also want to say, what was the weird quote at the end of the video? You don't need to put other people down to lift yourself up. Why? Why say that?
Yeah, I think that in hindsight, I shouldn't have said that just because it seems like preachy. Like but I didn't. I more meant it as like I know this sounds like stupid, but I meant it in a genuine way of like because Tommy's been doing obviously a lot of like he's done a lot of like he's been on like you said, he's been on like his shit slinging arc, right? And so I meant in a way of like, look, Tommy, you're super talented. You don't need to sling shit to get attention. You can get attention with your own
I know, but
content.
It's just a very weird thing to say after this whole thing started with that meme you made.
Yeah, and I did think I don't remember if it was you or I saw somebody's like reaction or tweet about that, and I was like, that's hilarious. I think that's valid. I think it looks in context. In context, it looks kind of stupid. So, but yeah, I mean, I genuinely meant it as just like, look, you don't need to sling shit. You are talented. You can get attention with get a ton of attention without doing that because you're talented. But also, it does seem backhanded because obviously I'm like critiquing him and saying negative things in the video. But I think that just like in this conversation,
it feels a little bit. I'll say how it felt to me. I was watching the video, and I was like, okay, he's made a lot of criticism. And when you said that out here, I was like, wait, this speaks volumes to almost how like you see yourself above everyone else on a higher platform. It felt very talk downy. Yeah,
it does feel very preachy, like which it wasn't my intention. So, but yeah, I agree. I think it feels preachy.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I think it feels preachy.
We agree. Hey.
Hey, we finally agree on something. There we go. We got it.
Hey, we
agreed on a lot of stuff.
Six things this stream.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right. I'm losing my voice. This is crazy. I guess I'm not used to streaming for 3 hours.
I have just sat here and like listened to you, so I have just let you run your mouth for like, which is good, by the way.
Yeah.
Not in a negative
I appreciate it.
Like I wanted to actually ask you things about what you're saying in real time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you again, I'll just extend the olive branch that again, if you have in the future, again, I feel like I don't bite. Like I'm very, you know, I'm open to talking, answering questions, you know, whatever. So if you ever have any problems or concerns or even just questions, feel free to message me. But otherwise, thanks for having me on, and I
Definitely.
appreciate
Yeah, I
I
feel
appreciate you
like
also talking to me out. Genuinely, it's really
no, I really hope that like first of all, I made it very clear before the stream I wanted my community to not be on an attack footing, and I'd hope that you'd share that same sentiment
oh, of
with
course.
yours. I
Tubbo's been great. Tubbo's been extremely fair, I feel like, and he's been, you know, especially even in the past, and he's been someone that's been, I think, has treated me very fairly. So
thank
I
you.
appreciate it, and I think that definitely, I mean, even if he wasn't fair, you shouldn't spread hate, but do not, do not, uh,
I
don't.
just feel like your friend group and mine, we do completely different things now. We do completely different things. And obviously I can't speak for anyone else. I feel like we can very much like in this conversation, I've come to the realization that there is just I just don't understand why you think the things you do, and I don't understand your justifications. And I don't agree with a lot of what you said. And I think that is honestly because we are different. And
Yeah,
I and this conversation has made me a little bit sad because I've almost realized that I feel there isn't a middle ground we can reach. To be totally honest, I think it's very
yeah,
fair to incentivize our communities to stop attacking each other
yeah,
because it's not a fun experience to be on the internet, especially as someone who streams here every day.
yeah.
But however, it has made me sad that there isn't a